Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ben, and to say that I've tested out a lot of the portable cold plunges and saunas out there is probably an understatement. That's right, if you are subscribed to the channel, you know that I have reviewed a ton of these portable cold plunges and saunas and given you guys my honest feedback on what I think about them. And so in this video, guys, I want to revisit all of these products that I have here, just let you know which ones I feel are the best, which ones you should actually consider buying. And at the very end of the video, I want to go ahead and show you what I use on a daily basis. Now, I promise you guys, I will try to make this video as short and concise as possible. However, I will have all the timestamps listed down in the description. So if you want to kind of skip ahead to a certain product, get my feedback on that, feel free to do so. Now let's go ahead and start with what really kicked off this channel, and that is portable cold plunges. Now, should you buy them? Are they worth getting? Well, that's a very good question. So whether you are new to cold plunging or a vet, the IcePod is pretty much synonymous with cold plunging. These things kind of kicked off the entire movement. And of course, after the IcePod, we had a lot of other companies like Vital Plus and of course SaunaBox. They've come out with different variations of these portable cold plunges. They're pretty dang great, especially if you're looking for something that's portable, easy to set up, easy to take down, take with you anywhere. And frankly, if you're just new to cold plunging, it's really nice to start with these because the price is generally pretty dang good. And if you do go with the IcePod, you definitely want to go with the SaunaBox PRO. It has a little bit better insulation and also has the 2 inlets for a chiller if you want one down the road, which you definitely should, because if you're going to rely on ice, you got to put in a ton of ice. Now moving on to the pod from Vital Plus, this is actually identical to the SaunaBox PRO. There's really no difference. The materials are about the same. It has the 2 inlets. So it's a good pod. Again, this is best for somebody that is kind of starting out. And right here next to it is the PlungeBox from SaunaBox. Now guys, if you are looking for a portable cold plunge, this is definitely the one to get. It's the most durable overall, but best of all, if you come up here, take a look, it actually has 3 inches of foam insulation here in the walls. It has a little bit different shape there. That insulation that it has right here in the walls, that actually will keep your water much colder for much longer. And of course, it has the 2 chiller ports there on the back. Now, the PlungeBox compared to these other two, it's just hands down a much better portable cold plunge. So if you're in the market looking, trying to consider between the different options out there, this is definitely the one that you want to get. That said, if you are looking for a cold plunge that's larger, that's going to hold more capacity, more water, and it's still really affordable, then the PlugeBox XL right here is a very good option. In fact, there's a lot that I like about it. Number one being the fact that it actually has this aluminum frame right here. And so unlike these other ones like these that just have these poles running through it, that this whole side tends to collapse, this actually will maintain the structure, and so it's just a lot better if you're trying to brace yourself getting out of here. It's a lot easier. This definitely holds a lot more water. You can, and best of all, you can actually sit down inside of this thing right here, and you can actually extend your legs out. So if you're somebody that likes to kind of lie down more in the cold plunge rather than kind of sit up or kind of crouch, then this is a great option. Now, I don't have it here, but I did do a review on the long pod from the Pod Company, and they had something very similar to this. It was a little bit longer and definitely shorter, so I guess technically it's easier getting in and out of. The long pod is also a really good option if you're looking for a cold plunge that's a little bit cheaper. It's not going to run you a whole lot. I like with the long pod the fact that they actually offer some extra insulation sleeves that you can wrap around it to keep it colder, and those do work very well. Now, like I said, all those cold plunges, I mean, they're really good options. However, there are better options. Now, one of my personal favorites are these inflatable cold plunges that you can buy. They have different shapes. I mean, these are the long tubs. You can actually get the barrels as well. And I would definitely recommend getting, say, like a barrel over some of these other portable cold plunges that we just looked at, simply because they hold their shape a lot better. They're very strong. Once you fill them up with air, I mean, you can pretty much sit on these things, do a handstand if you like. But with that said, guys, there are actually differences between these inflatable cold plunges. I mean, if you look at them, I mean, they look very similar. And so you would assume that you could buy a cheaper one, but that's really just not the case. So I have these 2 cold plunges right here, and they look identical from the outside. If you look at the material, it's about the same. But the thing is, so this Therapod, you can actually buy these at Sam's Club, and I got it for like $150, really cheap. But the thing is, as far as the overall construction, it's definitely not as good as this other one that I got from Willpower. The material is just, it's a lot thinner. The plastic right here, or whatever this material is, it's a lot thinner. The drop stitching inside is not quite as strong. And so the problem is when I fill this one up with water all the way, it actually begins to bulge out. The whole tub begins to bulge. And so when it does that, the lid, it won't close all the way. And so you'll actually be able to see like the water from the lid, because the lid just can't cover it because this bottom part is actually coming out. And so this one, a little bit more expensive. However, I have zero issues with this. I have it filled up all the way with water right now, and have no issues with this bulging out. So it actually just forms a better seal right here, keeping out some of the bugs, debris, things like that. So kind of keep that in mind, that cheaper isn't always better. Now, I don't have it here with me, guys. However, I do want to make mention of the ice barrels, particularly the ice barrel 300 and 500. As you guys saw in my ice barrel 300 video, I mean, that was one of the best cold plunges that I've had, based on the amount of insulation that has inside. I mean, it kept water cold forever, and it was really great. However, the only downside to that, it was just a little bit smaller, and of course, that's the type of cold plunge where you kind of have to just crouch down, kind of sit there, you know, with your knees in front of you. And so it just wasn't something I really liked. I really do prefer to actually lay down inside of it. And that's the only reason I actually got rid of it. If you are looking for a cold plunge that is going to require a smaller chiller, simply because it has fantastic insulation, look at the ice barrels. They're great. Now that I've taken you through all the cold plunge tubs, let's go ahead and talk about cold plunge chillers. So these 3 chillers that I'm about to show you, I highly recommend all of them, and really which one you go with will depend on your needs. And the very first one is this Vital Plus Ultra X2. This chiller, guys, it's a 1/3 horsepower chiller. However, they have actually beefed up the internals, which makes this much more capable and powerful. It actually chills a lot faster than the other 1/3 horsepower chillers that I've found out there. It also has a lot of really cool features. Number one, it has built-in Wi-Fi, so you can actually control this from an app. It has a built-in sediment filter as well. And also the new models, and this is new from when I did my review video, is they've actually included ozone, built-in ozone into each one of these units now. And they really retail at a really reasonable price. So if you're looking for a chiller that is pretty much universal, which will connect to any of the cold plunges that I just showed you, this is a really great option. Up next is the chiller from SaunaBox. Guys, this has been ultra reliable for me. I've had this for well over a year now. It's a 1/2 horsepower chiller. It's got this button right here for ozone, which you can start anytime, and that keeps the water super clean. Also, if you take off this panel right here, inside is a sediment filter. And this also has a built-in Wi-Fi, and has an app capable, so you can set it up, set the time and all that. This has been a very good and reliable chiller. And I think the thing I like the most about it is just the size overall for a 1/2 horsepower chiller. I mean, it's very small compared to a lot of the competition out there. And last but not least is this 1 horsepower chiller from Willpower. Guys, I love this chiller. It is super, super capable. I mean, it chills your water very fast, and I love that. It also has this pleated kind of canister filter right there. Inside of this down here, it actually has a sediment filter, so it filters out all the grass, dirt, things like that. And inside, it actually has built-in UV for extra clean water. So yeah, all 3 of these chillers, they're fantastic. And if you're wondering at home which one you should actually go with, and I think it's going to boil down to 3 things. Number one, it's going to be your budget. How much can you actually afford? Number 2 would be how well insulated is your cold plunge? And the third would be what's the capacity of your cold plunge? Because all those things matter. Something I do think that you should keep in mind is that the price tag of the chiller doesn't always correlate to better performance. So if you're spending more money, they're not always better. But I can tell you with the Willpower, yes, it's a little bit more expensive. It's more expensive than these other 2 chillers that I showed you. However, it is a very, very capable chiller. Every day I work out at 12 p.m. and by the time 2 o'clock comes around, the water is icy cold. I mean, it just works really, really well. A lot faster than the other 2 chillers for sure. And of course, on top of that, it has a few extra features, including that pleated filter that keep the water just super, super clean. So to me, spending a little bit extra money up front is definitely a good idea. The only exception to that rule would be is if your cold plunge is very well insulated. If it has a lot of insulation, it's sitting outside, and you have like this 90-degree weather like I'm having right now, I mean, you can definitely get away with a 1/3 horsepower chiller like this one I have from Vital Plus. It'll work great because it keeps the water extremely cold inside, and it doesn't have to work quite as hard. Otherwise, it's just going to be working all day long. Now, before I move on to the portable steam saunas, just a real quick reminder, if you are not subscribed to the channel yet, please consider doing so. Now, first up is, of course, the SaunaBox. You guys probably know that I have featured this quite a bit on the channel. I've had this for about 1.5 years. It's been out here on the back deck, so it gets some rain, some sun on it, and it still looks relatively brand new. I mean, maybe a couple of spider webs up top. there, but otherwise it has been very reliable. And of course, it just works really well. It gets up to the 130 degrees with 100% humidity. I mean, it feels like it's like 170 inside. Haven't had any issues with any of the fittings, nothing ripping, tearing, nothing like that. The steamer has worked great. And so this, I still definitely can give this a thumbs up. It's been a great product. Next is the SaunaPod from the Pod Company. Now, guys, this has been a very popular item online. And of course, the biggest selling point of this is the fact that this is more of a dry sauna. They actually have a heater inside that heats it up. It gets to about 185, it gets pretty close to it. I think now that it's summertime, it's definitely getting there. And also the selling point of this is just the fact that it's made of non-toxic materials. Of course, this is like a 100% cotton, organic cotton, which is like a canvas material. It's very sturdy. You know, they've really tried to minimize any sort of off-gassing, anything like that. And I have been using this quite a bit lately. I really enjoy it, and it does work. If you compare it to the SaunaBox, you can see it's definitely shorter, so you cannot stand up inside of this thing, which is kind of a bummer. Sometimes I just like to stand instead of sit there. However, it's a good recommendation. Now, third is the Nurecover Tropic Pro. Now, of course, I've done a couple of reviews on this one as well. Guys, I don't recommend anything from Nurecover. I mean, compared to the SaunaBox, the outside material here, it's not quite as thick. And that's just kind of the overall theme with them is they produce these products. They're a little bit cheaper, but they are cheap. You know, they're just cheap. They're not made of good materials. And of course, I did the review with this, with their heater that they just came out with. That's supposed to be able to be used with this. And it started to actually melt the poles. So I do not recommend Nurecover. This is one thing I would actually stay away from. And the fourth and final portable pop-up sauna would actually be the SaunaBox GO. And of course, this one I actually really enjoyed as well. If you look inside here, there is room for two. This is a little bit shorter than the SaunaBox itself. However, this is actually a fantastic option. If you're looking for something that's easy to set up, I mean, it's like spring-loaded, so this will pop up in literally about 10 seconds or less, so you can get this set up. But if you're looking for a little bit more room, if you want to have two people to sit out here in the sauna with you, it's great. And even if you don't, the fact that it's so low like that, the steam, it doesn't rise all the way up. And so, I mean, it works really well. Of course, this one actually comes with their smart steamer, which is like Wi-Fi enabled, has an app, so you can set up the time and temperature anytime that you want. A little bit easier. Hopefully they carry that over to the regular SaunaBox here soon. But the SaunaBox GO is definitely something that I would recommend as well. So after reviewing all those products, any guesses as to which ones I use almost on a daily basis? Let me show you. Well, as you probably guessed, yes, it is the Warrior Willpower setup right here. So it is the tub and of course the 1 horsepower chiller. And guys, just kind of take a look here. So I hopped in this earlier today. I've had the water in here for like 3 weeks. And if you take a look at it, it is crystal clear. And that's one of the things I love about this thing is not only is it powerful and capable, but it's very good at keeping the water clean. And that's a huge bonus for me. But not just that, it's something, you know, I do prefer to actually lay down in the cold plunge, and this gives me tons of room. And so I really like this one. And when it comes to the saunas, actually guys, believe it or not, it's actually a toss up between these two. I love the SaunaBox, but I also love the SaunaPod a lot. I mean, they're two very, very different portable saunas. I mean, of course, the SaunaPod over here uses that heater, so it's more of a dry heat, if you will. You sweat a ton. And of course the SaunaBox, I mean, that uses steam. It's steam driven, so you do have to fill it up with steam. There's a little bit more maintenance to it overall. You gotta kind of worry about keeping it cleaner or at least dry inside afterwards, so you don't get any kind of buildup of bacteria, anything like that. However, it gets extremely hot. I mean, it really taxes your respiratory system, probably more so than the SaunaPod overall. And so they both have a lot of benefits. There's a little bit more room in the SaunaBox as well. I do like that. It's really a toss-up between the two. If it's based on price alone, of course, you're going to want to go with the SaunaBox, but the SaunaPod, man, if you can afford it, I think you'll really love it as well. This is basically the setup that I use almost every single day. I do contrast therapy, so I'll hop into the cold plunge for about 3 to 5 minutes. And then I do about 20 minutes in the sauna here. If it's a little bit hotter outside, I might actually cut that short a little bit because I'll be sweating and just getting so hot in there that I'll just actually have to hop out. Now there you have it. Those are my top recommendations. Now guys, I have tried a lot more products than the ones featured in this video, But these are the ones that I feel are the most noteworthy, the ones that are actually worth purchasing. If you guys are interested in buying any of these products, I do have them listed down in the description. There's a little bit of a discount on most of them. If you've enjoyed this video and you have found the content to be helpful to you, please consider hitting the like button down below and also subscribing. I do appreciate you guys watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.